this video, I'm going to review the First Tactical duty gloves. These are the medium duty gloves, so they have padded knuckles here. And you can get hard knuckle, I believe, and yeah, I believe they still sell the hard knuckle gloves. I believe they still sell the medium duty gloves, but they also have the lightweight, which have no padding or whatever. That's the lightest version, but you're still getting everything that you're getting with these bigger gloves. The only difference is padding and stuff like that, and of course the articulated knuckles here. So, anyways, as you can see, I've finally worn through the goat skin. This actually took quite a while, and as you see here, you actually have this stretchy material underneath in order to prevent this from getting all that stiff, which actually is pretty cool. So I would actually rate these gloves as a little bit iffy on its ability to work with touchscreens. They don't exactly align perfectly on all the fingers. It kind of depends on which ones you get, but they're not exactly precisely manufactured. They're relatively inexpensive, probably for mass production and to keep the overhead down. But yeah, like the thumb here, it kind of turns a little bit, so it's a little bit off because my thumb is basically right here. So this is the face of my thumb right here. And so it's not exactly manufactured for specifically my thumb. However, they do, when you first get them, they do fit like surgical gloves. So once you put them on, they're hard to take off. They're hard to put on, which is great because it's like almost wearing nothing. You have some material here. You have the goat skin. It's actually not all that thick, which is good for articulation, but still it's very strong and it's heat resistant, and I've actually grabbed some things right out of the fire that were like hot coals, and you can see that the effect really isn't all that much. I was using my right hand, but it did kind of turn these fingers into raisins. So yeah, I've been pretty impressed with the capabilities of these gloves and their durability, and I'm just going to be pretty much a constant customer, a constant returning customer for these gloves, because these are the best ones that strike a balance between dexterity. They do give you the touchscreen capabilities once your fingers are warmed up and you get them facing in the right direction, or when it's like this, you're able to access your phone. But this right here, this compromise is from going over and over and doing rifle reloads. So the PMags and stuff like that, and working with Velcro, it really does chew up the gloves, at least the rough textured Velcro part, not the soft part obviously, but it does wear, and it can be a problem. Like you can see this material's finally fraying a little bit, which it's not fraying all that much, but it's still enough to notice. And yeah, it's just getting really fluffy, which is unusual because it's typically like this. It's very low profile and stuff like that. And even with this happened early on. This really has not expanded all that much. It's maybe expanded this much in the last year. And that's probably due to me just tugging on like this extra string here, which I should probably just take care of with, fingernail clippers, which I guess I'll just do now. Just take fingernail clippers and clip off the edges right here, and yeah. So the other thing with these gloves is they get a really good grip, almost too good to where readjusting you actually have to take things out of your hands, but you will not get a weapon slipping. So even if it recoils a lot, you're probably not going to have any issues with the weapon slipping out of your hands. So yeah, that would be really good. They don't really insulate that well against like cold weather, because this is such a thin material. It's an elastic material. It's not really good for cold weather. So one thing you can do to kind of help is to wear some kind of palm insulator or a palm warmer or something like that. It won't really affect your dexterity all that much unless you are using a pistol. Then you want to maximize the dexterity here, which is one of the biggest reasons for these duty gloves, is you're actually able to use your pistol without having too much chunky material that kind of alters your ability to reach the trigger as you would with your bare hand. So these are great gloves, not necessarily for all seasons up here in Alaska, but for the most part they're very good. and they do last a good amount of time, and still these are serviceable. Even though this thumb is going out, it's not really affecting my ability to perform what I need to do. As far as being flash resistant for those that are kind of have that requirement for themselves, or their department, there are Kevlar options where you're still getting this stuff is still, I think, still pretty good. They might have changed the material or mixed it up a little bit to make it good for those requirements, but First Tactical definitely made some pretty awesome gloves, and surprisingly they hold up more than I thought they would. When I went to SHOT Show and tried their lightweight ones, I just figured, oh, they're gonna wear really fast. 2 years later of hard usage and constant usage, these are my go-to gloves for testing, and after testing them, they've lasted longer than any of the other ones. The Hatch Specialist gloves and, like flight gloves and stuff, these do a lot better and they last a lot longer. So definitely worth the investment. 20 bucks, get yourselves some gloves, and they're well worth it. Of course, it's going to go up in price depending on which ones you get, but definitely worth the investment. They last a good amount of time, a long time, and they're cheap. So yeah, if you get ones that kind of tear unexpectedly, just keep your return label from the shipping, and they can get you a new pair in no time, and you just send them in and get replacements. I've had these wear out and I've been shipped new ones, just sending pictures of the wear, and that was pretty much it. I didn't have to return these gloves. It was just they didn't really think that it would wear that fast. So me being a tester, me being a product tester, I wear out stuff pretty fast. But anyways, I appreciate the customer service, I appreciate the products, and I think you guys will too if you give them a chance. It's pretty inexpensive to get into it and try it out. But with all that said, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys leave a like on this video. Go ahead and spread it around for any of you tactical friends, or any of your tactical friends. And I think that they would appreciate these gloves. Even if you're in the military, I think that you would really like these gloves. So anyways, you guys have a good one.